City in fourth place, Liverpool in second, just to refresh your memories, the game at the Etihad on Saturday. And Stuart, just to get into this, let's start by talking about Manchester City, and let's talk in particular about Sergio Aguero. What is going on with him? He's 29, he can't get a game for club or country at the moment, didn't play a minute for Argentina during the international break. What is the dynamic with him and Pep Guardiola at the moment?
Well, I think it depends what system that Pep Guardiola wants to play. In the first two games, they started with a back three and two wing-backs, and it meant they could play with two up front. And that's the way I think Pep Guardiola wants to go. Then Walker got sent off in the second game, and they played quite well with a back four. They stuck with that against Bournemouth, and Aguero was left out. So I think it all depends about Aguero playing, depending on the system that Pep Guardiola wants to play. If he plays with a back three, Aguero and Jesus start up front. If not, I think Aguero could be the player that comes out the side, and Jesus will play up front by himself.
But also, I don't think even in that system, in the two games they did start the season now, and it is only two games, they didn't seem as if they were gelling as a partnership together. You know, both making the same kind of runs and didn't work off each other. And maybe it was just because it's the City side have had a lot of changes, and he's changing the system, and you know it's early in the season. I don't know, but I don't think Guardiola himself is convinced that the two up top is the best way to go.
I think what has become very evident is that even since towards the end of last season, where Gabriel Jesus comes into the team, Sergio Aguero was there, and when there was a choice to be made, it was Sergio Aguero on the bench, Gabriel Jesus was playing. So we come into this season, and it's become clear that for Pep Guardiola, Sergio Aguero is not a first-choice striker. He's not. Because if he was, it doesn't matter what the formation is, he would be on the field. To me, this is more about what the perception of Pep Guardiola is of Sergio Aguero as a player than about formations. I find that Pep Guardiola, if he wanted Aguero on the field, he would be on the field. Right now, I think he believes that Aguero belongs on the bench.
I'm kind of looking at this differently. You know, Aguero started the first two Premier League games.
Yeah, right.
And that tells you that Pep was, well, he believed in him. But his form wasn't good. He did score the winning goal against Brighton, but he did miss other chances in the two games. His actual all-round play was not very good in the two games, and so he sat him on the third one. I think it's just a case of his form hasn't been good, and that's why Pep hasn't played him recently.
Ian,
I mean, that was well, there you go.
Ian, it's a bit of an enduring mystery for many in England. I mean, Aguero is still only 29. Is he really receded that much from the height of his powers?
Well, there's a lot of people here who think Pep Guardiola is looking a gift horse in the mouth. Sergio Aguero has scored 44 Premier League goals in the last two seasons. Only Harry Kane has done better than that. Aguero's done it season after season after season, but there's no doubt about it. Yeah, it depends on the formation, as Stuart was saying, but Gabriel Jesus is ahead of Sergio Aguero in the pecking order at the moment. So, yep, you're right, it's a bit of a mystery. I think this game might be affected a little bit because the timing's not great, is it? Saturday lunchtime, a lot of the key players in this game will have just arrived back from South America.
So his record against Liverpool, sorry Adrian, his record against Liverpool at home, sorry to bore you, but it's actually very good.
I know you did your research on that.
His record against most teams is very good, but his record against Liverpool is particularly good at home. I mean, he's a good player. He's a great little player. And I think the difficulty is, if you are going to keep benching him, how difficult is he going to be to manage? To keep him fresh enough when the bigger games come along in the Champions League, are you going to keep his head mentally right enough that he's going to come in and do a good job? Or is he going to rotate, and both players have accepted that that's just going to be the case? I really don't, I'm not sure at the moment what Guardiola's thinking is.